All right. So let me tell you about this dream that I had last night. And I feel like this dream was very vivid because I probably haven't smoked in like a day or two. And so that like me just
Damn,
going to
your
sleep
head is
high.
hurting.
Yeah. A little bit. So this this dream involves people I already know. So like that's kind of like what made it fun and like weird. So this took place in Vegas, I believe. And so my girlfriend and I like to do like we do escape rooms, right? And just like go to, let's say, like Dave and Buster's. So, but we always go with this other couple. Um, so in this dream, we go to Dave and Buster's with this other couple, and it's like the most fanciest fucking Dave and Buster's you've ever seen, bro. And I think because it was in Vegas, it literally looked like, um, I don't know, like ever seen like the Caesar's Palace? You know,
Like the
can you imagine the
outside.
carpets and shit?
Oh, like very like gaudy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like very like royalty almost.
Yeah.
So we go into this room, and for a big ass fucking TV, you got like ping pong tables, like a bunch of shit. And it's supposed to be Dave and Buster's, but it doesn't look like Dave and Buster's. It just looks like a big ass playroom. And so it's the four of us in there. And so my friends are in like this glass case, testing out like the ping pong table. And then my girlfriend and I are on the couch and we're like playing with the big ass TV, like just seeing what we could do. And then out of nowhere, like three guys in suits come in. And they're like, "What are you guys doing? Like, there's no smoking allowed in here." And we're like, "What the fuck? Like, we're not even smoking. What are you talking about?"
Damn. You guys
And
just
they-
smell like weed.
and we're like, "We're not even smoking. What are you talking about?" And they're like, "No, like we know what you guys are up to. Like, you can't do that in here." And we're literally just like, "What the fuck?" So now it's four of us, and then like two more of them come in, and so it's like 5, 6 guys. They're just in like suits, and they all look the same. They look like hitman, like bald heads and like glasses and like black suits, like X-Men, not X-Men,
Like
fucking.
Pitbull.
Yeah, like Pitbull. like Men in Black, like that. That's how they look. And now they're just like yelling at us, and we're yelling at them, and we're like, they're like, "You have to leave. It's not acceptable." And we're like, "No, like we paid to be here. Like we're not leaving. Like what are you
Right.
talking about?" And then I'm like, all right. So then I pull out my phone, and I'm like, all right, in my head, I'm like, I have to think of like a lawyer or something. Like what would a lawyer say that can like convince these guys that no, that we paid for this, and like if you don't stop harassing us, we're gonna get this lawyer. And so they kept on coming at me, and I'm like, all right, I gotta call someone. And then like poof, Manny pops up next to me. So he's on my left now, and so it's Manny, but like in just like regular. This man was chilling at home probably. He's like a t-shirt and jeans, and he's like, "Yo, what's up?" And I'm like, "I need you to like read this to them." And he takes my phone and he like reads one sentence, and they're just like, and they all start looking at each other, and they're like, "Oh, okay, like, okay, we think you're right. We think you're right."
You know what? We believe Manny.
And then they leave, but we weren't even like we wouldn't even want to stay anymore, so we ended up leaving too. And so we walked outside, and I got into a car. Definitely wasn't my car. It was like a lowrider or something. And I got into my car, and then the car started floating, and like we were driving through this hotel slash like big ass Dave and Buster's. I can't even tell you what the fuck it was. And we're just floating through the whole building, and eventually just like leave out the back. And
Like in Grease, the movie when the car floats away. What the fuck? Oh my god.
but yeah, dude, and that was. I woke up and I was like, "What the fuck?"
You
That was the
texted
most
Manny,
favorite
"Thanks,
thing.
bro."
I haven't told Manny yet.
Oh.
I think he'll listen to this though. Yeah,
That's
we'll
so
see.
funny. What the fuck?
Sube el volumen.
Hautbox.
Tiene algo enorme para ti.
Si te ofrecen droga, te van a decir que se siente bien padre, que te vas a reír.
We haven't been smoking either, so have your dreams been vivid?
Not really. I haven't smoked in like 2 days. I'm like tense. It's just because I had to like work and stuff, and I'm like, fuck, like I have to focus now. But I'm back. So we're good. It's all good. I picked up. Well, actually, Ernesto was there, so I did pick up. But yeah, now I'm chilling.
Dude, next time we smoke more, you guys should definitely come through. It was a good time. What was this, Friday?
Who are you
we went
talking
to go
to?
smoke, or Saturday? To the people listening.
Oh,
we went
I
to
thought
go
you were talking to
smoke?
me. I
To
was like,
Discord
where'd you
people?
go?
No.
Yeah, I think it was fuck, what day was it? Saturday? Yeah,
I
it was
think so.
Saturday. It was pretty cool. We smoked with some people that listen to the pod, which was really cool. If you guys are in Chicago and want to smoke, dude, we're always down. We're always down to meet up. As long as you don't come and kill us, we're down to smoke with people from around here and stuff. So it's pretty fun.
Yeah. I want to try this. So we got Ernesto.
Should we say?
Graciously, huh?
Should we say?
Say what? The name?
Yeah.
Oh.
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 Anyways, shout out Ernesto the plug, dear friend. He plugged us up with some good shit, so we're trying it out now.
Tastes good. I've never smoked these parts before.
Me neither. I'm like mad scared they're like
You took like 4 hits in a matter
okay,
of, like,
wait, hold on,
30
let's chill,
seconds.
let's chill. I was testing it out. But I'm really excited for the snack for this pod episode. I think this is a German brand.
Oh, really?
Kinder.
Yeah.
Kinder means like child, in like German. Like kindergarten.
Kinder.
Kinder. Stupid. These are cool though. I tasted one. They were really good. I was gonna tell you this story of like speaking of kindergarten. So it wasn't in kindergarten. It was like maybe like 1st or 2nd grade. And this like mind boggles me because Daddy Yankee still looks the way he does. Like this, it's so like, what the fuck? Because in 1st or 2nd grade, I remember I was on the playground. This is like a core memory for some reason, which is really random. But I was on the playground on the blacktop, and it was me and my friends. But there's also this one kid. His name was Jose, and I wonder if he listens to the pod, and I wonder if he's gonna know that this was him. But we were on the blacktop, and we were just talking about like our favorite music or whatever. And he was like, like my favorite artist, it's Daddy Yankee, like this and that. He's like really good. And this is when like Gasolina was really hitting and stuff, and or at least for like our like town, like at that time or whatever, it was like really hitting. And I
Oh,
was
you guys
like,
delayed?
I don't know. See, that's why I don't know if like we were or not. But yeah, he was like, I really like Daddy Yankee. And this was when like Daddy Yankee was doing the Premios Juventud, and he would bring out his fucking floating car and shit like at the way end of the what's it called, the program. And it was just like, it was like the coolest thing ever. And like everyone loved Daddy Yankee, and I promise he looks the exact same.
He really does.
He
Did not
does.
age one
And
bit.
I'm just like, what the fuck? But it just reminded me of that. I just thought it was really funny.
So tell me if I'm wrong, but I know there was a rumor that Daddy Yankee burned the Mexican flag.
You told me about this not that
Yeah?
long ago. I have no idea about
never
that.
heard
I've
about
never
this?
heard that before.
I remember. When did I hear? Man, did I remember hearing about this in like the 6th grade?
Really?
Yeah, because I remember specifically going to the Comales right there on like 59th and Kedzie, where I asked for like the 4 slices and shit.
Where you were childish.
Yeah, I specifically remember being in there and watching Daddy Yankee on the TVs, and then me bringing it up to my family, like, oh yeah, I heard this man did this or he did that.
Everyone's like, fuck him. What the fuck? Dramatic.
Yeah, but and for a long time, I really didn't fuck with Daddy Yankee just because of that.
Oh,
and I would
shit.
tell people like, oh, he did this, he did that, and
Fucking ride or die. Fuck him. You have a sticker on the back of your car. Fuck Daddy Yankee.
then we'll make it to keep playing.
Do it.
Oh,
We're going to design it. We get sued.
oh shit. He comes on the pod.
Oh, shit. Special guest. He clears up the rumors.
Oh. He burns it on camera.
Oh, shit. What the fuck?
Did you complete everything you wanted to do, like on your yearly goals? Did you set any, like personal ones?
I think I did, but I don't remember where I put those notes in or whatever.
Oh, yes, you wrote them.
Yes, you know what? They're in my like planner. I'll have to go back and check. I'm sure I've checked some stuff off.
That's cool. Mm-hmm. Because didn't last year, maybe this was you, but I think you like wrote everything down that you did, didn't you?
Yeah. Every, like, all the accomplishments.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, that's sick. That's something I want to do this year.
Yeah.
But
That's-
were you doing that like throughout the year? Mm-hmm. Okay.
I was just like, oh, I'm going to remember this. And at the way end of the year, I would, like, put it all together.
That's sick.
Yeah.
How good did that feel?
Oh, it felt so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that keeps me motivated to know, like, oh,
wow.
I can't just have nothing to show for, like, at the end of the year. So it's cool.
That's sick.
You should do it.
I can't even remember what I did
You've
this year,
definitely
though.
accomplished so much. Up until now, hell yeah. Bro, you were in a plane. You flew a fucking plane. What the fuck?
I feel like it's so hard. I could probably think of like 3 things. Honestly.
No, if we sat down, I would definitely remind you of everything you've done.
Like what? Besides things with the pod, besides the flying a plane. Okay, I'll give you the flying the plane because that was pretty
That
cool.
was a
not
good
gonna
one.
lie.
Dude, you went to therapy.
Yeah. Oh wow. See, I didn't even think of stuff like that.
You're doing like really well with that. You came out to your parents that you smoke.
Yeah.
There you go.
That was this year. Holy
think so.
shit.
And then
Wow.
I don't know. I'd have to like sit and think about it.
I mean, that already is. I didn't even.
It's good
consider those
enough.
two.
It's
Yeah,
good.
that's awesome. Mm-hmm. Wow. How about you? What did you do this year?
Apart from things with the pod, I quit retail, which was really fun.
I know that was huge for you.
And then I got jobs that I really wanted, and that was cool.
Like you guys do not understand. Like Jackie was busting her ass looking for these jobs, dude.
Dude, I'm
Like you
telling
honestly
you.
deserve the job you got, and I'm
Thank you.
pretty sure you're gonna get, if you ever decide to leave them, a better job.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like just something that is gonna be perfect for you.
Yeah. So I'm really excited. But yeah, I can't really think of anything more. I'd have to like really sit down and think though.
Another one of mine would be, I've been doing like daily Sudoku for like 3 months. Like 3 months straight. And that was
nice.
something that I wanted to do. I was like, I'm gonna sit down and like really do this every day.
Nice.
been
One
really
thing
good.
that I'm in the progress of is going to the gym. I've been going to the gym consistently for like maybe a month, maybe a little longer. I'm not
Yeah.
too sure. But yeah, I've been going like 5 times a week.
That's awesome.
3 to
Wow.
5 times a week with my boyfriend. I feel like we really motivate each other to go.
Aw.
Because yesterday he was like, tell me something so like I have to go to the gym tonight. And I was just sitting there and I was like, shut the fuck up. Like I'm going to put my shoes on right now. Like we're leaving right now. And he was like, okay, yeah, bet. So it was funny.
Dude, if you really have to just like leap into that to go to the gym, like if you're not feeling it, you have to push yourself like, okay, fucking
Yes.
counting to 3, and at 3 I'm going out, I'm going putting my shoes on, I'm leaving.
I think that was leaving my house was the hardest thing at the way beginning. And I would say I still struggle with it now, but literally how I started was I'm going to go to the gym and I'm just going to walk. You know, because first of all, I was going to start, but going by myself. And I was like, I'm just going to go and I'm going to walk because also I'm extremely anxious about going to like the scary side of the gym,
Right.
which is where all the weights are, where all the men are. And I'm just like, oh my God, like I don't want to do all that. So if I go and I walk, usually the machines are all the way in the back and I can like scope out the area and be like, okay, if I go over there, it won't be too bad because there's not a lot of people. So that's how I would start. I would go and I would walk and then I would do the stair stepper. Nothing crazy. I would literally just have to go there. You know, even if I was only there for like 30 minutes, I was like, okay,
It's still
I went.
something.
I
Right.
went and it was good. And now we do a bunch of shit. So it's cool.
Do you feel like you could eat anything you want now because of it? Because that's how I felt when I was like consistently working out like that. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna lose it anyways.
That's a terrible way to think. No, I do feel like I can eat more, but I definitely like I cut out bread for like a while and I felt pretty good. I was like, you know what? By the end of it, I was like, you know what? I'm not even feeling bread like that. And then what else did I cut out? Cheese. I didn't
I
really
can't
eat
do cheese.
I know
Fuck.
it's so hard. It's so hard. Like queso fresco, like
Oh.
fuck. Like I do not drink milk. I drink oat milk only, but cheese is one thing that fuck I cannot let go of.
Dude, queso fresco. I also have the thing that gets me is what makes me bloated, I think, is gluten. And the gluten is I'm pretty
Like in
sure in bread, right?
The
Right. And I make
pastas.
myself a sandwich every day for work. And so it's impossible for me to like lose this last little like bloat that I notice every day. And but the cheese is what gets me because it's also pepper jack in my sandwiches or like
Oh,
some,
shit.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just something. So like bread and cheese are like the two things that I could most likely would not be able to cut out.
No, I know. I definitely get you. It's tough. You know what? I had queso panela for like the first time, like camping when I went camping.
Really?
Yeah. Because my friend's mom was like, oh, like we were gonna have breakfast and they had like croissants and then queso panela and some salsa. And I was like, damn, this sounds so good. But I'm like really iffy about certain cheeses. Like queso panela, I always thought is like a melty cheese, is it not? Like it
Yeah.
can be melted. I didn't like that. I only like in my sandwiches and stuff like queso fresco. But I was like, this kind of looks just like it, you know, in its solid form. And I put it in my like pan and I ate it and I was like, oh shit, this is kind of good.
Yeah.
Changed my life.
It's like I can't describe the texture. It's almost like smooth. Does that
Yeah.
make sense? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, but I liked it. I'm down for it.
That's
Like we
good.
didn't grow up with that queso, so we didn't know.
So what's your goal with the gym then?
My goal at the gym is
'cause
to
I know you're big on health, so
Yeah, I think it's just to have a healthy lifestyle. That's pretty much it. And like taking care of my body. I don't really have like a weight goal. I don't have like a PR that I'm trying to break or anything like that. I'm just trying to go and make sure that, especially my lungs that I feel like are shit already. I'm trying to just make sure that they don't give out on me. So.
Yeah. Was that big in your family? Working
What?
out?
My dad has always liked lifting weights. Always, always. He had like a home gym when we were kids, and that was really fun because he would blast music, and when we would hear it from the basement, we're like, "Oh, my dad's working out! Like, let's go!" Because we never would go to the basement; it was unfinished, so it was all like concrete, and it was pretty spooky because the lights were always off. So when he would be down there, we'd like go downstairs and play. So it was pretty cool.
Was it ever awkward for you? I'm not sure if you ever like did you work out at home? But like working out in front of your family, is that not weird for you?
Not really.
Really? I that's something I really struggle with. Yeah. Just like doing anything for my family. I don't know. I just want to like I don't know what it is, honestly.
No, I understand. I totally get you. I feel like I have like that in like certain aspects, and I'm positive that my family members, some of them do feel weird, like doing stuff in front of us and stuff. So I get it. I get it.
There was this one time, and I feel like not looking back at it right now, I feel so dumb. But I think Jonathan came into my room, and he's like chilling in my bed, and I was working on something. I was like editing something, and I was just facing him now, and just like looking at him, and then looking at my phone. And I think I felt like I wanted him out of the room, and so he left. Literally like 2 minutes after coming in, he left, and because I was still facing him. But we haven't like said anything to each other. He just like came in and just like started chilling. You know what I mean? And so like I felt bad because he probably felt like I wanted him like gone, even though like that's not
That wasn't
what
the
happened,
case.
right?
Damn.
But like looking back at it, now I was like, fuck, like I don't know why I did that. I was like so awkward just sitting there. I don't know, my weird ass dude. Like I could have continued working. You know what I mean?
That's true. Wait, so you were on a laptop. You just
No, I
like
was on my
turned.
computer.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
just turned and you looked at
Yeah, I
him.
went like this, and I'm just like looking at him, and then we're just on my phone, looking at him, on my phone. I don't know. I thought he wanted to like say something, but
Oh. But you know what? That's also on him. He didn't really say much. So he's like, okay,
he's probably like, "You're boring. I'm leaving."
I say, okay, so like when I go and try to hang out with my boyfriend, he's like here in the living room And I'm just like, I'm going to go over there and like chill, but like do nothing really. And he's just like there and on his phone. And I sit there and I'm just like, but I'm just like, you're being boring. I'm leaving. So I would go. And he's like, what the fuck? Like, you came here. But
For real?
Yeah.
You're just being a hater.
like, we're doing nothing. You don't even want to talk or anything.
but
I'm
you
fucking
went there.
leaving. Engage with me. No.
I don't know. I like a friend who, like, as a host, right? Like, if I had someone over, I don't have to, like, give you shit to do. You know what I mean? Like, you can just, like, you're either cool with just chilling, like, not saying anything, or we're obviously gonna go do something. But, like, that's, like, my kind of friend. Someone just come over, just chilling, and I keep doing my shit. They just do their own shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I like,
Manny.
no,
I'm just
yeah, Manny's cool, too, though. Like, Manny, he'll definitely will just, like, be working on stuff. But, yeah.
That's
Just,
why you
study
like
groups,
what?
I guess. Just like study groups.
Oh, okay.
Like other people working around me just makes me want to work even more. I
That's
can't.
called something, but I forgot what it was. It's a term. There's a term for it.
I didn't know that had a term.
Like when you see other people around you like doing that, you're like, oh, okay, I can focus a little bit more on doing that.
Remember how last week someone had asked or someone asked you if we did the podcast full time?
Yeah.
What would that look like to you if we were doing this full time?
Fuck. That's a good question. If we were doing it full time, that means that we would most likely have a studio, because if we're doing it full time, like, I'm sure we're making money at that point.
But let's say we're not. Let's say like you and I had both saved up enough money to keep paying our expenses for the next year.
Oh.
And now starting today, we're doing this full time. We're quitting our jobs, everything. But we're not necessarily like moving out of here because we don't want to like pay a studio and we can keep doing it here. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So we have the bare necessities to keep paying what we need to pay for the next year. What would doing this full time look like?
I think there'd have to be a lot of meeting up. At least 3 to 5 times a week, strategizing.
crazy. Right.
Strategizing. We would definitely have more guests. We would plan way ahead into the future instead of kind of like week to week and like for the next month and stuff. We would have like guests lined up. What else? Making more content, making a whole lot more content. And yeah.
Like what?
We'd figure out stuff for the YouTube, like, because right now we only have like this, right? We would make way more stuff for the YouTube. I don't know. We could create other channels for like you, for me, for guests specifically. Yeah, I'm not really sure. We'd obviously have to reach out for sponsorships and like we'd be more on top of that, you know, of like consistently trying to get that kind of stuff.
Right. So you're thinking like this is a 40-hour job. We're working Monday through Friday.
With like going on live like every
How
single
many
day.
episodes a week?
See, if we were to do it full time, we could do 2 episodes a week.
Crazy. Dude.
Bonus episodes here and there. Yeah.
That would be insane. I truly hope it gets to that point.
That'd be pretty cool.
Dude, how more sick would that be to be
It
able to
would be
live
really
off
sick.
of the podcast
Yeah.
and then eventually other things? But man,
I'm having fun, you know? So I feel like it would be really fun to do.
let me tell you something. I'm not even sure. I might take this out later. I'm not. It depends. Anyways, so I almost quit my job
Oh.
like 2 days ago. Oh, no, Thursday. last
No
week.
way.
Yeah, dude. I went inside. I'm like, I need to put my 2 weeks in because that was my first week on the floor. And like my first couple days like by myself in my area, and it's so stressful. And like it was literally getting to me where that was the first thing I thought about each day. I would think about having to wake up tomorrow and going to work and like going back to that environment and then wake up because my dream involved boxes. Like swear, like I would wake up so stressed and I was just like, no, like there's no job out there that's worth losing sleep over.
Right.
And so I don't know. I was like, nah, I'll figure it out, but this is not it.
Fuck.
And so I went to go talk to the people I had to go talk to, and they're like, look, this is normal. Like this is something that
That's
people
terrible
go
if it's
through.
normal.
So I have my opinion on that. And so yesterday and today it has been a little bit easier because of certain circumstances. But I think about how my dad has been doing this shit every fucking day, Monday through Friday, sometimes even the weekends too, mainly the weekends too. And then for like the past 30 years. That shit blows my fucking mind. Because there's also people in there that I've met who have been there for 25 to damn near 40 years. And I wasn't even fucking born yet. Like, imagine?
Yeah.
That shit's crazy. And I don't know. Thinking about for a job and like what it's paying me to do now, it's great. I definitely like love the opportunity of being there. But like, would I want to do that for the next 3, 4, 5 years? Like, probably not. You know, like I want to put more time into the product because I know it has so much potential. And like, what if it was a full-time job?
Dang.
That would be insane. But
Dude, I was thinking about something similar like that yesterday because I called my dad and he was telling me, I was asking, like, oh, how was work? Because he was on his way home. And you know what he said? He was like, you know what? When you do what you love, you have fun with it. And I'm just like, wow. Like, dude, same thing. Like, he's been working at this factory over 25 years. And dude, it's back breaking work. And I'm
Yep.
just like, fuck, dude, I want to feel bad, but I think he's happy. I truly think he's happy.
I'm glad he is.
Yeah. And like he takes his job very seriously. Like he's very proud of it. And I'm very proud of my parents. So for me, this goes back to me thinking like, oh, well, I want to take my parents out of there. I want to like work hard and make sure that they have the life they deserve and like where they're happy. But then I'm like, damn, like maybe they are happy doing what they do, you know? And I'm just over here like making everything complicated for myself when they don't even think of that. You know, they're thinking I have to work because I have to make my daughters happy. You know, like they live for us. Like my parents live for us. So yeah, same thing. Like I don't even think that goes through their head, you know?
Well, you know what my therapist told me when I told her that? That I thought of that when I thought that about my parents? She was like, you got to give your parents more credit. And I never looked at it that way. I never thought I wasn't giving them enough credit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's going to tell me that I'm not giving them enough credit because I think that they're still working for me when in reality they probably aren't. You know, like my mom just got a nanny job and like she loves taking care of kids. Like this is like her dream job. And before
Dale nietos.
quit playing. And so before taking this job, she was getting desperate for a job because of her surgery that she had. She couldn't like properly lift kids yet. So like finding the right kid to take care of was a challenge.
Right.
And so she was saying that her leg and her like waist was hurting, whatever. And so like this job, she starts up this job, and I'm like, I can noticeably, I can notice that my mom's like happier, you know, because she says it feels good to get a check for like the hard work that you do, and like just telling me like because it's been so long that she hasn't had a job, and so she's working and she's happier, and she's like, look, the pain in my hip and my leg even went away. And I was like, you know what I honestly think that was? I think, not to dismiss my mom's pain, but I was like, I think that was all your
head.
mentality. Yeah, it was all in your head. Like the pain was definitely there, but I don't think it was as hard as you, or as like hurt. What's the fucking word? I don't think it was as high of a pain that you thought it was.
Okay.
And she was like, I think you're right. I think me being out of the house and like now working and like being able to not think about that pain, it's definitely decreased. And like now that I'm doing something that I love, like this is like that I enjoy going to. I don't have time to think about the pain because I'm so happy at my job.
Oh.
I know, right? I was like, dude, look at you, like, look, I see you.
Okay.
I see you. And like before she took the nanny job, she was like running out of options, and so she was telling me she wanted to go work at this factory. And like I knew everything in me because as much as she was trying to hype it up, I knew everything in me. I was like, I know she didn't want to go. She does not want that job.
Yeah.
Like I know she's trying to make herself happy, and like I can't sit here and tell her like no. Because like, what if I don't know? I don't want to like be the bad person telling her like, you know, this isn't the job that you want to do. Like, just keep waiting. Because what if she really needed the money for whatever reason, you know?
Right.
And so I was like, yeah, that's something that you'd like to do. In the meantime, while you look for more jobs, then maybe. But luckily, she got the job that she really wanted, and she's like so happy there. But and who, by the way, the only reason why I think this might, if it ever gets out like that, remember how in Dubs, it was a Russian spy with what was she, Chinese?
Yeah, she's like Asian.
The parents that my mom works for, it's the same thing.
Dynamic?
Yeah, and like the husband works in like cybersecurity or some shit. Yeah, I know.
Your mom's gonna be a buchona. She's living out her buchona dreams. Stop.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
And I say this because I found the guy. The guy's like big on, I'm guessing, like in this world. So I found he's on a podcast. I found an episode that he's on. And he's talking about
dad?
like, yeah, he's talking about like finances and like all this other stuff.
Damn, let me find out it's Gary Vee.
Oh shit.
Mommy work for Gary Vee.
You're goofy.
Does he even have kids?
Gary Vee?
Yeah.
I think
Oh.
so.
I
He's
don't
like
know.
2 kids.
Nice.
But yeah, and like last week, I was gonna get home and tell my dad like, yeah, I tried quitting today, and I I wanted to see his reaction because he was like, damn, dude, it's only been like 3 months. Like, what do you mean you're gonna quit already? I'm
Damn.
like, yeah, I don't fucking.
But you
like
didn't tell him?
it. Nah.
Oh.
I don't know.
So, going a little bit back to what you were saying about your mom, if she were to ask you, this is just reminding me of it. If she were to ask you, like, oh, like, what do you think? What would you reply to that? Because I usually, when people ask me, for, like, what's your honest opinion? And it's like something pretty like serious or whatever, I usually give them the option of like, do you want what I really think, or do you just need to support a friend? You know? So that's what I was kind of going with that.
So you're saying, what would I do
Or
if she asked me?
yeah, like would you tell her like, Mom, I know this is not what you want to do?
I think because she framed it to me in a way where she had already made it make sense in her head. I just told her, yeah, I was like, this, I guess, is like good for now, but just keep looking for more jobs,
Right.
which is basically just me saying it's not a good find, like keep looking. But I do want to be like that, like give people an option, because sometimes like I do think something, but I'm like, yeah, like I don't want to like be that person to them.
Right.
Or,
And
like,
I
what if
think,
they're depending on me to be that person? Like I have to be that person.
see, and I think by asking that, you make the other person like think a little, you know, where it's like, well, I just feel like I really need support right now on this because I'm for it. Or, okay, maybe I am skeptical. Let me hear this person out and like what their honest opinion is, you know? So I'm just like,
I see what you mean.
yeah.
When I ask people questions, I usually start by letting them know, like, I want your honest opinion.
Yeah.
And so I feel like maybe I expect that from people, but I forget to ask them. But I definitely should ask them.
Damn. Mistake number 1, expecting things from people.
How do you go about it? Like, do you tell somebody, like, if you asked me, like if you were coming to me with a question, would you be like, hey, I need your honest opinion? Or would you just tell me, and then, like, what would you expect?
Tell you what, or I would tell you what.
Like, if you were coming to me, let's say, like, you're the one telling me, like, oh, I found this job, and, like, you're trying to, like, tell me about it, and you're explaining this job to me. And, but, like, in my head, I'm like, nah, dude, it's not, like, a good job. Like, are you going to tell me, like, in your honest opinion, do you think this is a good job, or are you going to expect me to ask?
See, now I understand what you were saying about your mom. Like, she already framed it in her head. I think if I were to, like, ask you, if I was excited about it and this was something that I did want to do, I would just tell you. if I was like skeptical, I would be like, okay, in your opinion, like, what do you think about this? Like, I just got this job, whatever.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, I think because you're coming to me excited about it, I'm probably not gonna be honest with you, which I think that's so bad. I know it's so bad, but sometimes I don't know. People just don't.
That's where you see, and that's where you just have to be the supportive friend.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But should I ask either way? That's like what I'm trying to get at. Like if I see you're excited and you're coming to me about this job and you're like, dude, like I think it's cool, and I'm in my head, I'm like, nah, dude, you're gonna be a fucking slave. Like don't do that shit. And then, you know, what
I
I
don't
mean?
know. I know what you mean. I know what you mean, but that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
And should I still ask? I don't know.
Let me ask this one question, and then
Go
we can
ahead.
get into the Discord. Oh, okay. So I saw this little topic that was going around, so I wanted to do it with us. And who would your nightmare rotation be? We've done dream rotation. I think if you guys go back to the 420 Red Tent episode, you can hear our dream rotation that we have there with Michael, our guest. But this time I want to do nightmare rotation, just like the most fucking disgusting, like you would never want to smoke with these people. Like this would just be the worst. Like gente que te cae mal. Like
Oh,
la
really?
gente más
Okay.
mamona, like all that. Who would it be?
I was gonna say, okay, so I wasn't thinking about it that way. This would be one of three, right? Was it three?
We can do 2 to 3.
Okay, so this would be my one of three. Edward Scissorhands. Cause that man, you know that
fictional
man can't
character?
hold a joint, bro. Like you know that man cannot hold a joint. He's gonna cut that bitch up. Quit playing.
What if he does it at the tips? Be like, okay, number 2.
You go. We'll like go one on one.
Okay, so mine would be Jenny 69. Like that just seems so stressful. Like I would not have the mental capacity to like sit there and smoke a J with her. I can't do it. What if she starts singing? Me da miedo. Okay, you go.
So this might sound dumb, but like, why is she big?
She was like a makeup influencer.
Okay, so I
Yeah.
didn't know. Okay, that's what
She was like on
came
YouTube
from.
for like a very long time.
Did you ever watch the Lil Pump and J Cole interview?
No.
No. So Lil Pump, this man, I don't think I could have him in my rotation. He says
Really?
a bunch of nothing, bro. Like it's just talk and like this man.
Says a bunch of words, but
It's just-
absolutely
yeah,
nothing.
Yeah,
I'm
it's like
dead.
the whole interview was just basically just J Cole asking him questions and then him just saying
Who knows
just-
what?
Yeah, who knows?
Was J. Cole interviewing him?
It seemed like it. They were
Oh,
kind of
okay.
going back and forth, but yeah, Lil Pump was kind of just like, how'd you get your start and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But you know, the questions did get a little bit better towards the end, but for the most part, I don't know. This
No.
man could just like, yeah. I don't want my rotation.
Hold on, let me think of my other one. Oh, okay. You know who I would hate? The kid who plays Caesar on my block.
Oh,
Ugly.
dude, you've been a hater since like season 1.
Dude, that's how I know that like my hatred runs deep. Dude, I feel like he's so stupid. God, that the 4th season.
I haven't seen it yet.
Stop. You're gonna
Yeah.
hate him. You're gonna hate him.
Fuck.
He's so annoying. He would be my second one.
He got really annoying in season 2, I think, was like when I started. Like when you pointed it out, I was like, yeah, I can see it.
He's kind of a little shithead.
He doesn't know any better. Stop. I think my third one, definitely my third one is gonna have to be Jolo Puma. We have beef on Twitter since like
The beef
2015,
continues.
so I'm trying to continue it. Get him in the circle.
He's gonna see him, tag him,
what's up.
tag him. If we get TikTok to tag Cholo in the
shit.
comments.
Bro, tag him. We gotta
Do
give him
it.
a rotation. We're gonna have him as a guest.
Oh,
He takes us sneaker shopping.
oh shit. Bet.
To Payless.
Payless
Dude, Payless
doesn't-
still open?
No, Payless does not exist anymore.
Holy shit.
R.I.P. He's gonna have to take us to the store.
Bro, have you eaten another one of these? They're just so good.
No, not yet. Let me eat one. Damn, you're on your third
I
one.
know.
Chill.
The munchies out.
I think my third one would have to be like. I like that you said Edward Scissorhands for your first one, because I also have a fictional character. My third one. You know what? This one should be the fucking first one. But you know what? It's a hard competition between Jenny and this girl. It would have to be Izzy Stevens from Grey's. God, oh my God. You have no idea how much I wanted the show to just kill her off after the first season. People who genuinely like her character, like, please watch it again. If you've already watched it 3 times, watch it again, because I don't think you're seeing. She's so annoying. She's literally the worst character.
What does she like do? What does she do
She's
or
just
not
like,
do?
she's so stupid. Like, she's so ditzy. Like, but we're here to fucking learn medicine and be serious and have careers, and you're fucking around.
I thought your pick was gonna be Owen from Grey's.
Him too. Fuck him too. But I will say Izzy Stevens was more annoying to me than Owen. Owen's just a piece of shit. Like, yeah. Okay, hold on. Okay, so we're gonna go into some Discord questions now. I like this first question. What Disney villain do you feel for?
Fuck, I had a good one.
I'm gonna say Maleficent. I like her story. I really like her story. In
What
the
movie was
end,
that?
it was Beauty and the Beast. The princess, not Beauty and the Beast, sorry. Fucking Sleeping Beauty.
Oh, I haven't seen Sleeping Beauty.
Oh.
But Maleficent?
Yeah. She's like the evil character in the story. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the one with the apple.
What was her
The
story?
witch of Maleficent.
Yeah.
She actually like cared for like the princess. I think when she was born. Something like that. There hasn't been a lot of like Disney villains
My phone out.
movies
Yeah,
coming out.
let me Google Disney villains, because
Isn't the story of like Scar gonna come out? I've never watched The Lion King before, but Scar is the
You've
bad
never
guy.
seen The Lion King?
No, but I know that Scar's the bad guy, right? I think that's why the person mentioned Scar's name in Swahili.
You do feel for Scar, but he's like a piece of shit. He literally, I literally cannot ruin the movie for you. Like, you know what the movie is, right? Like, do you get like the whole like what happened?
No.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I know someone dies, like someone important, like, oh my gosh, I cried, but
Can I
like,
ruin it for you?
I don't really care. I'm not gonna watch it.
You're gonna watch it. But like,
Literally
Scar kills his brother on purpose to take
Oh
his
yeah,
throne.
it's Hamlet. It's Hamlet.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so to take his throne, and then he tries to kill his fucking nephew afterwards. Mm-hmm. So he's just dirty. I don't feel like anything for him, to be honest.
Damn.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. But hold on. Oh, you know who? Sid from Toy Story.
Oh, the kid.
Yeah, I feel for Sid. He just honestly, he wasn't like that bad of a kid. What did he try to do? Just blow up some toys? Like, bro, we've all done that shit. Like, come on.
I haven't watched like Toy Story 1.
Oh my
I think
god.
I skipped all the way up to. I think the first one I watched was Toy Story 3. So I don't
with
really.
the bear?
Yeah.
Okay.
The one with the bear.
Did you watch 4?
No.
So I believe Sid ends up becoming, like, you see his future Sid because he's wearing like the same shirt. It's like a little cameo. I think he's working like at the garbage dump. I think.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure that's like the cameo. But he grows up to be someone who's just like, you know what I mean? He's just regular ass kid, basically.
Right, right. Just normal.
Yeah.
But that's funny. That's funny. All right. The second question. Dang, this one's going to get deep. They asked, do you struggle with resentment?
Yeah, definitely.
I would say yeah, too.
Yes.
I feel like I hold a lot of stuff in,
Yeah.
and it's just like reoccurring in my brain. And I'm just like, oh, like I can't let this go. but literally the only person it's hurting is me.
Right.
You know, so sometimes I'm like, okay, I really just have to let this go. But yeah,
I would say, yeah, definitely the same.
it's a
because,
process.
yeah, I can't stop. I can't say things sometimes, and I'm like, how can I say this? How do you forget about that? Like, do you ever say it, or do you just kind of just like eat it and then just like, all right, fuck it, like it
I
is
think
what
it
it
really
is, and you move on.
depends. I think it really depends on if this is something. Hold on, but like it really depends on like what you're really holding this grudge over.
Right? Like, how petty do you allow yourself to be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. I like the way you put that because sometimes I'm like, fuck, I can be so petty, but do I want that for myself? Like, do I want to put that energy out there?
You almost forget that you're being that petty,
Yeah.
that petty.
Yeah.
You know, and like that's when you know it's not good for you because that's
Yes.
all that you're thinking. Like all your energy's on that.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, it's not
Draining.
good for you.
Okay. Next question. What is your most prized possession and why?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. I'm going to say my laptop. Without this, I would die. I would die. It has absolutely everything in there.
That's a good one. See, it's hard to pick between my car and something else because, like, if without my car, I don't think I could be doing any of the shit that I'm doing right now. And
Bitch, take
that's
the
a hard
train.
one.
Take the bus.
I took that shit for like 8 years, bro. Straight, I'm good. But I think it would have to be because the sentimental value part of it. My first camera, like my first big purchase camera. That's that was my first big adult purchase was that camera. So
Wow. I
probably
like that.
one.
Next question. What's something you do to help with accepting nothing is consistent in this life and everything has an ending?
You know what is something that I want to get very comfortable with is death. And I know how that sounds. But there's this one Duncan has this she owns her own what's it called? Where you not funeral home. I think funeral home, but also like a morgue. And she's trying to like change the perspective of people have on death because we've been basically it's just been like sold as a bad thing so that we can preserve bodies. And like there's been a whole business that's been made out of it. And so he wants to like change the way people feel about it by getting them more like talk about it more and like get used to it more. And even like how like I've never had that conversation with my parents like what's gonna happen when you guys die.
Right.
And so the fact that I can't even have that conversation with them shows like how uncomfortable already our family is with it. So
Do you so you feel like you wouldn't be able to have that conversation with them?
I think I'm getting closer to being able to have a conversation with them because there's something that I've actually been meaning to talk to my dad about, and it's what's gonna happen to the house once we all leave because I want it. I swear,
Damn.
yeah, like I want
Those
the
are
family
fighting
house.
words.
Because you know what really inspired me was something that you said that like that house is gonna be like your family house. This is like early in the episodes.
Yeah.
Like that house that you guys are in, or he's gonna get passed down. Like that's gonna be a house that you guys just like keep maintaining,
Right.
for your future generations. And like I want that. It just sounds so
Aw.
cool. And so I
Yeah.
want the house. I want to see what he's gonna do with it. But that will eventually lead into like, well, what about death? Like, what's gonna happen when you guys pass? Like, do you want this to happen? Do you want that to happen?
Right.
Yep.
My dad, so like when my grandpa passed away, we talked about it. So when my grandpa passed away, he got up in front of everyone when they were doing the velorio and all that stuff. It was only family. So, you know, we all felt comfortable like standing up, speaking out. And he was basically telling all of his family, you guys have to have these conversations with your children and be okay and comfortable with having them. I know it's hard and I know it's sad and you don't want to think about what would happen when the time would come. But he was like, look what happened to my dad. Who would have expected this? Like none of us. It just
Right.
happened 1 week to the next. He was gone. And he was like, luckily he spoke to one of us and he did express on how he did not want to be cremated. He wanted his body buried, but because it was COVID time, they were burning all the bodies.
Right.
And he felt really sad. His entire family felt really sad because it was like the only thing that we knew that my dad wanted, and we couldn't even do that for him. And I just keep telling my dad, like, no one could have expected that, you
Right.
know? And it's unfortunate, but he knows that you guys were all there for him in his like last days, and like that's enough. Like all of his kids reunited, and that was surpassed everything that he possibly could have said. So that's when my dad, like my mom and my dad, they both talked to us, and they were like, well, we want this, this, and this. Like, take me where I want to go. And we were like, okay.
Wow. I know my mom wants to be cremated. That's about it. I don't know anything about my dad. I'm pretty sure he just wants to like go back to his town.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not sure.
See, and I don't know if we talked about this before, but my grandpa was buried with my grandma. And like they were buried
Okay.
together. And I was thinking, and I also had this conversation with my parents where I'm like, well, if you guys were to die and you guys both want to go separate places, you guys aren't going to be together. And I respect your decision of going to wherever you guys want to go, but it's going to make me sad because I want to be buried with both of you guys, you know? So like, what am I going to do? But
What'd
it
they
was
tell
just
you?
like, they were just like, oh, I mean, split
like,
it up or something.
They don't want you with
They don't want me. They're gonna fucking bury me in Belvedere. No.
Does that kind of answer the last question though? Like basically, how do we get used to like things that are can end? 'Cause
I completely forgot about the question.
But basically,
Yeah.
just get used to like talk about things, you know.
Right. Next question is, where do you guys truly see yourselves in 10 years? Wow.
Damn, that's mid-30s, bro. Fuck. I'm gonna be chilling. I hope.
I
I'm
hope so too. And I hope to not live here.
Yeah.
In
that's a good
Illinois.
one.
I hope to have traveled a decent amount by that time. Yeah.
I hope to be in like the best shape of my life in 10 years too.
Ooh.
That's like that would be a huge 10-year goal.
Right. Oh, you know what? This is a good 10-year goal for me. So my dad has a house in Mexico, but my mom, last time we went, she was talking about how she went to school in this one town. Like she went to college there and she loved it. It's a cute spot, whatever. She grew up going there, and some of her friends live there too. And she was telling me that she would one day love to have a house there, and whatever. And it wasn't too far from my dad's house, so they'd be close enough. And I think in the next 10 years, I would want to pay for her house to be made over there.
Wow.
Yeah. Just so she
Dude,
could
I think
have
you
it.
could definitely do that in 10 years.
Yeah.
I think you got it.
Oh, thank you. Because she's also going to retire soon. So I would want her to have like something when she goes over there. Okay, next question. Do you think life is predetermined, or do we have free will? I feel like we've answered this before, and it was more of like when we were talking about devs around there. Because I think everything is predetermined. Even if right now in the life that we're in right now, we technically do have free will, but in the end, everything
I
is
see what you
predetermined.
mean. Okay.
You know? Because our destiny was that we already had chosen the free will option that we chose. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I like that. You know, there's been so many times where I truly question if like someone has my back or if just shit's like supposed to work a certain way. Because there were like times where I would struggle to like pay a bill, but I could always come up on some money, and it was like literally the exact amount I needed to pay that bill.
I know exactly what you mean. This is something I always say. Things will always find a way.
Yeah, right?
Like things will always be okay in the end. So crazy. And I think that when that happens, and like I'm a little bit like spiritual and stuff, when I notice that stuff like that happens where it's like, wow, like I made it, I just like I sit there and I pray to God, and I'm like, oh my God, like I'm so incredibly thankful. But yeah. Okay, next question. What's one gender norm you would like to change in your life/family, especially when it comes to Hispanic households? Example, women are the caretakers of the home and the men are the workers.
But I would kill to be at home, to just stay at home, like be a stay-at-home dad. Bro, I would love it. The house would be spotless. I would be chilling all day, bro. It'd be sick.
The life.
I would
the
get
life.
a lot of shit done though.
Nice.
But I definitely would want to change that. I would want someone to feel. I would feel comfortable if one day my wife was like, "I make plenty of money and you can stay home with the kids if you want." I'm like, "Yeah, that's cool."
Wow.
But I don't know if how the rest of my family, like cousins, like and stuff like that, would feel, or just in general, I guess, even my parents, because it's always been like one way.
Right.
So
Right.
definitely would want to change that.
I would say like having absolutely everything like under your husband.
That's a really good one.
You know,
Actually, yeah.
where it's like, dude, like the house is in his name, like all the bills are in their name. And I understand from a standpoint of like if a man wants to be a provider, okay, cool. But like something about it just doesn't sit right with me where it's like if she were to want to leave, she would have nothing.
It'd be so much work to just
Yeah.
start that
And
all
I'm
over,
just like,
yeah.
I don't like that. You know?
I agree. That's a good one.
Yeah, because I think this goes back to the what I was saying about men being providers. On how some men that want to be providers, like they give you all the money, they like pay all like everything, right? But they also like support their women wanting to do their own thing.
Right.
You know, so that's kind of like the difference between like those kinds of men and men that are just like machista and like have to have control of absolutely everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's say you've been raised by machistas like that in that I guess like normality. Like it's just like a normal life to where your mom was a stay-at-home mom and she's been doing this her whole life and like the dad's always a provider, but I guess like there was that control, like everything's under their name. Where do you notice that that's wrong?
I think you have to notice that by like for yourself. I mean, for me, I probably would notice those kinds of dynamics in like my friends' families or people that were like I would go to school with. Like I noticed that in school when I would like go outside of my family dynamic. And let's say like when my family would go to church and I would be with the other church kids. Like that's kind of when I noticed and I was like, "Oh shit."
How?
They would just either talk about how it is for their family and maybe I would say one thing and I'd be like, whoa, like that's like completely different.
Okay.
And yeah, just shit like that. Next question. What's 3 things you most hope to be remembered for? Damn, you're
Like
trying
that
to leave a
one.
legacy?
Definitely the podcast. Like I want this to be long lasting and something that is talked about like in very high ranking with other podcasts. What else? I don't know. Need 2 more things.
I would say also the podcast, but I would also say, well, I do want to say these things, but first and foremost, I do not care to have a legacy when I die or whatever. I'm just like, okay, just let me die. Like if I have no kids, like that's fine because nothing's gonna stay with me. Does that
That's
make sense? Or
interesting, yeah.
nothing's gonna stay here that was like tied to me. I just want to go,
Wow.
be free.
Yeah. That's the
But
first time I ever heard that. It's very interesting.
I feel like everyone has this obsession of like, I have to be remembered like by something. And it's just like, why? Why can't you just like leave? And because you're
Right.
working towards something like so much, you don't even know if it's going to be remembered by people. And if it is, maybe for like the smallest span of time. And that's like you holding on to like your ego. Damn, even
Wow,
past
yep.
death. Like you're thinking about holding on to your ego even past death. Like that is so exhausting. Let's just die.
Wow. And that's why you're a sick fuck. Or was it a sicko? Maybe it was a sicko. I think it was a sicko. Like, 'cause you look at this shit like a game. Like, I'm just doing this shit because I want to do it. You know what I mean? Like, you're just having a good time.
So funny. You're so funny. You're funny. You're funny. But if we're
Yes,
trying
though,
to be
you know what I mean?
yeah, but if we're trying to actually list stuff, I would say the pod.
Oh shit! I forgot we're answering the question. Fuck.
I would say the pod. I would say things that I would do to help the community. What is that called? Like philanthropic ventures, if you
Yeah.
will. Something like that. Like a nonprofit, you know? And third thing, if my sisters were to have kids, I would want to be the cool aunt. That's what I would want to be remembered as, like the coolest fucking aunt.
That's a good
Yeah.
one.
The buchona aunt.
I could see that. You're gonna be smoking with your nieces and nephews.
No, dude, they would kill. No, my sisters would kill me.
Well, I really hope I'm not the first one, but I think like the first one to introduce generational wealth, like something I could pass on to my kids, for my kids to not worry about money. That's probably what I want to be remembered by.
Yeah.
And like I said, I hope I'm not the first one. I hope Jonathan or Pedro beat me. Like, ha, I figured it out first. I have this money. We can like now help each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that. I like
But
that.
that one for sure. And I think in the future when I have a little bit more money, I want to be able to throw parties. Like I want to throw like a masquerade. I think that'd be sick.
Wow.
So I want to be
a murder masquerade.
That'd be dope too. But for throwing parties.
That'd be cool. Have a boat. Oh,
3.
oh. Okay, next question. What's something weird that you consider to be a red flag in people? And their example was men in thong sandals. You know what it is for me? When like men spit. Like out of
Oh, just,
nowhere,
like,
like outside,
yeah.
like, oh, we're taking a walk, and like they just spit. Not just once, but like, okay, I understand we all gotta spit like once or twice on a good walk, but like you're spitting all the time. Why?
Yeah. They're overhydrated, dude. They gotta like get it out of
Please
there.
swallow it. I don't want to see it or hear it.
I feel you though. That always just throws me off. Maybe
Right.
because I never have the need to spit. I don't get it, but I don't know.
Who knows?
That was a good one. Fuck. See, I know this was like very popular on Twitter, but like truly like black Air Force Ones. I don't know, dude. There's something about them. Even the white ones, low key. After a while, they kind of just like I don't know. They just got to me.
So red flags and people are the people who are.
Air Force Ones. It's like everybody.
Oh shit! Damn. Sorry, y'all. Like all the girls are gonna go into their room, fucking throw them away. Jason doesn't like them. Fuck them. Next question. Damn, this one's kind of serious. Okay. What's something that you need to accept and let go? See, I don't know if you're gonna get really personal, but I will. I'll get personal. Something that I have to accept is that my childhood home burning down and all the problems that arose from it, I have to accept that it happened and that it was not my fault. I could have not have done absolutely anything to change the course of what was happening because it's something that I carry so deeply inside and it's just not good. I have to let it go, you know?
Do you feel like admitting that helped?
Yeah. I almost cried for a little bit right now. Like, I don't know if you guys heard it, but
Well, you're definitely one step closer. Mm-hmm. I think something that I have to accept is that the relationship I have with my dad might not always be the relationship that I want because he might not get to a level that he's comfortable with speaking to me in the way I want him to speak to me. Because there's been plenty of times where like I try talking to him about something or like just asking him an opinion on something and he'll just like either shut down the conversation or just like say like no. I was like, one conversation I was having with him was like, oh, we want to buy your ticket to Guatemala so you can go see your mom. And he's like, no. Like, just said no. Like, 2 or 3 times after I had like, oh, but you know, you could do this, you could do that. And just like, no, no. And so until he gets to that point where he's comfortable talking about his feelings, it'll never be to the point where, like I said, that I'll be satisfied with.
Yeah.
And I have to accept that because if I don't, then that's where the resentment builds. And then I'm just like, fuck. I don't like myself. I don't like him. But I can't be like that because
Yeah.
then it just fucks everything else up. So definitely that.
That's a good one. I'm sure a lot of people also struggle with that. With parents who... Would you say that your dad was always there but never there emotionally?
Yeah. And I don't think I've ever knew what that truly meant until like now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Because like I was saying,
yeah,
like
you
I'm
said.
sure there's a ton of people out there that, you know, they did have their parents in their lives, but emotionally, stone walls. Next question. This next question, someone said 2 preguntations. That's so funny. Okay, number 1, why are y'all so hot? And number 2,
It's because of the chocolate, dude. Honestly, this shit's fucking fire.
number 2, how do you bounce back from burnout?
I could tell you because I've burnt out so many fucking times. So many times. And I think having a plan is what's gonna like, it's always kept me from staying in my burnout. Because if I know my plan, I know my goal, I'm not gonna reach it. No one else gonna do this shit for me. Like,
Right.
I have to push myself.
Yep.
And so I burn out, but I give myself a day and I'm like, all right, get over your little hump or whatever it was, and now you get back to it.
I like that. I would say I've mostly only ever experienced burnout when I work jobs. More specifically like retail, because I've been doing that for like 8 years, I think it is 7, 8 years. And has it been that long? I really hope not. But I've only experienced like that whole burnout thing when I was working those jobs, and I felt my fuse getting shorter and shorter and shorter up until like a couple months ago, where I was like, one thing that I don't tolerate, like I'm leaving. Like I'm fucking leaving. And when you were saying that you were thinking about like your job and blah blah blah, you said, what did he say? Oh, like you said earlier, I'm not going to stay at a job where I'm literally losing sleep over like the stress and all this stuff. It was very similar because when I had like my last straw, I've cried before because like sometimes I'm really stressed, whatever. But this time when I cried, it wasn't from stress or whatever. It was from management. It was like the job itself. And I was like, I'm not gonna sit here and work a job that makes me cry. So I'm leaving, and I quit.
Good for you.
Yeah. But they said saludos from Los Angeles. Thank you. Okay. Next question. What would you say is the hardest part about breaking the cycle and healing generational trauma?
What I said earlier about my dad is kind of relates to this, is that even though you're changing it, you can't expect people around you to also change. Like, they have to do that all on their own. And so this shit can get lonely. It can get just like, you start to pick up on things. And like, for me, for example, I pick up on things that are said, that are done. I'm just like it's just being done unconsciously. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so it's tough, but I think now I'm kind of in a place where I've accepted what it is and I can just make the most out of it or just be negative about it. And so I'm making the most out of it.
That's true. And also, like you were saying before, accepting that like it might not change. You know, accepting that that's just who they are, and when it gets, I know for certain people, like when it gets to that point, especially if it's like something that you can't let go of, like, dude, these people are so toxic. Like everyone in this family is toxic and you have to leave and you have to move out and like figure things out for yourself. Like you were saying, it can get lonely.
Yeah.
It can get really sad, but in the, like for future you, like you know that what you're doing is only good for yourself.
Right.
You know, and you know that that's not going to be you and you're going to just be completely different than whatever you were raised in. This is going to be the last question. What would be one of your core memories? Damn, I could have used the first one, the Daddy Yankee one. Fuck.
I think I've said this before like a while ago, but something that always, whenever we go through, I think like a Dunkin' together as a family, either Dunkin' or McDonald's. I think McDonald's. We always bring up the fact that Jonathan left his Game Boy at the table. We were in there for like fucking like 3 minutes too. So the fact that this motherfucker lost his Game Boy in 3 minutes is insane. But he left it in there, and we went back to the car and we started driving. And Jonathan's like, I forgot my Game Boy. At the Dunkin', and my mom's like, and she's just like, what the fuck? And then she starts yelling at Pedro and I for not being the ones to pick up the Game Boy when we saw that he left it.
Stop.
And Jonathan did not get yelled at. Bro, this man probably got another Game Boy. And then I'm pretty sure he did get another Game Boy actually. Yeah, and Pedro and I got yelled at. That's
Damn.
something we always laugh at. We call my mom. Like, hey, remember when you yelled at us for his?
Damn.
For his shit?
She's like, yeah, and? One of my core memories, I think I've told this story before, was when I got in trouble by my grandma. It was like me and my cousins, and we were outside playing with mud and like making fucking mud pies, all that shit. And we would go around and pick my grandma's flowers that she's been growing this entire spring and summer. Beautiful tulips and like all this shit. She loved gardening. So I remember with my cousins, we'd go around and like pull off the flower heads because they were pretty. And we would like put them in our dishes and all that stuff. And then eventually we went and we picked, when all the flowers from my grandma's garden were gone, we would go to the neighbors and then we picked their tulips. And they went to my grandma's house and then told on us. And then we got in trouble because we picked off all the flowers. It was funny. It wasn't funny back then, but it was funny now. But yeah.
Y'all are some bad little kids, man.
We weren't even that bad. We were very respectful.
Are we announcing anything this week?
So today is the day that the giveaway ends.
Okay.
So we are going to be announcing the winners sometime in the afternoon. I know this is going to be out right now at 8 in the morning. So stay tuned. If you guys want to find out how to know who won, we're going to be reaching out to them, but we'll also probably post it on the Instagram.
Okay.
So if you guys don't follow the Instagram, it's in the link in our bio. From the video, from the audio, from the TikTok, all that, it's going to be in the bio. You can find us there.
And we're also opening up questions again Thursday because we have a special guest episode next week. This is the first time we're talking about this?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah, we have a guest next week for...
No, I think we've said we might have a guest.
Okay.
Yeah, but we are going to have a guest. If you guys want to find out who it is, again, stay tuned into the Instagram because we're gonna start promoting him, posting him, so you guys can also get familiar with him and welcome him with some good questions. Yeah, so Thursday we're gonna open it back up.
And that episode will come out the week before Halloween, I
Yep.
believe.
Yep, the
So
29th.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so mark your calendars because we have fun stuff in stores for this month, so we're excited. Okay, but that's it. Thanks, guys, for being here.